Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. Can't tell you how excited I am for this video today because it's a YouTube first, meaning that this is the first time that the tent that I'm going to show you today has ever been on YouTube. As far as I can tell, it may have been put on before and been put down, but I've been scouring YouTube for any videos of this tent because I've been after one for ages and I wanted to do a bit of research into it, and I couldn't find anything, and I'm not surprised because of how rare this tent is. Let me tell you about it. This is a British Army 5-man Arctic tent, and it's like hen's teeth to find. If you do a quick Google search for British Army 5-man Arctic tent, some results will come up, but they're old ones. These things have been on sale in the past, but are nowhere to be seen at the minute. And I'm not surprised because this is an absolutely cracking tent. Now, from what I've been able to find out, these can go for around £350 to the right buyer. I think the price reflects the rarity. Now, there are other British Army Arctic tents that you can find out. You can see the 2-man tents, which again are on YouTube. You can even see some 4 or 5-man Arctic tents that were from the Canadian Army, and they look more like a teepee style. There's loads of those about, but funnily enough, none of these. The most detailed reports I've been able to find of this tent have actually been on BC UK, which is the UK Bushcraft forum, and even on there it details how rare these are to pick up. Either there's not that many in circulation, or people just don't want to part with them once they've got one, and I can see the appeal. They're an absolutely cracking tent, and I've been after one for so long, even to the point of commenting on a post from 15 years ago on BC UK. The post was originally someone selling theirs. I thought, hey, what's the harm on trying it? So I put a comment saying, is this still for sale? And you'll be surprised to find out, no, it wasn't. I didn't get this one on that post. This one actually came from a guy who had 3 of them, never mind just one of them, 3 of them, that he was selling on behalf of a scout group to raise funds. He said that in his group he was the local hoarder, and any sort of camping or scout tents or equipment he would just keep hold of, until the other leaders just said, listen, we don't need it, we've got the typical kind of like scout tents, which were the turquoisey greeny colours, we've got these already, we don't need these 3, so you've got our permission to sell them and pass on the funds. So he pops up on Facebook Marketplace of all places and says, I've got 3 of these for sale. Well, that was it. We were straight on. One of the members of the Lavu, sorry, there's birds in the background, the Polish Lavu group on Facebook, I think it's called Lavu Owners Worldwide. He posted that he'd bought one from the guy and then said if anybody else wanted to kind of get on it, now's the time. And as soon as I saw that post, which it'd been a few hours by now, so I thought, oh gosh, these are going to get eaten up dead quickly. I messaged him just in case he had one more, and he did. It was his last one, and I said, can I come and pick it up? And here it is. I think for many, one of the questions will be, well, Matt, why do you need a tent like this in the first place? Why do you need a British Army 5-man Arctic tent? Well, it's not for family camping and it's not for personal camping. It's actually to go to the Arctic with. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, our bushcraft group that I'm a part of regularly go on trips to Finland for Arctic bushcraft like week-long expeditions, and we also go to Norway for more summer kind of milder weather trips as well. In fact, there's one coming up in the next few weeks, which unfortunately I'm not going on, but I can't wait to see some of the videos that my friend at Fox Bushcraft on YouTube, Rarest, is going to be put up. So I'll be sharing some of that content because he's making amazing videos at the minute, and I want to share them with as many people as possible because they're absolutely cracking. So yeah, I'm not able to go on the May one this term, but next year I'm hoping to get back onto the February Finland trip, and this is the tent that I want to take out. Again, in a previous video you would have seen that the last time I went on the trip I took out a Scorpion CVRT army tent. Those were the ones that attach to the side of tanks or Land Rovers and have a bit of a kind of a wedge shape. And it was myself and another guy, Matt, who stayed in it, and it was fantastic. It was brilliant. It was, I wouldn't say it was the perfect size, it was a good size. Both of us are around, well, I'm exactly 6 foot tall. I think Matt's a bit taller than I am, and we were able to kind of fit into an L shape. We had the wood burner in there as well, and we were able to keep most of our kit inside, and we had some kit on the outside. So it did the job, wasn't complaining, and we had a fantastic time. It was lovely and warm and did everything it needed to be. Only downside was, like I said, the size could have been a bit bigger and it was very heavy. We had 23 kilograms limit in our luggage, and the CVR10 took up most of that weight allowance. Now, you might think, well, this looks very similar in weight. It's definitely bigger, so surely it's going to be more. Well, actually, no. The poles take up most of the weight. The poles are very heavy. They are solid wooden and metal poles, and yeah, they are incredibly heavy. The tent itself is, I wouldn't say significantly lighter than the CVRT tent, but it is lighter just by holding it. Now, when I take this down, in my excitement, I put it up before actually weighing it all out. So when I take it down, I'm going to do a full weigh of both the poles and the tent, so that you can see the difference. Okay, I want to give you as much information on this tent as possible, because like I said, it's the only video that I can find about this tent on YouTube. So I want to kind of do as much information, and as always, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll answer them. So yeah, size and weight were the issue, and this solves both. Okay, it's lighter and the size in here is incredible. I want to kind of show you and give you an idea. It's not always easy to pick up on camera, but this is a beast. So let's go inside. Now, I hope you're able to kind of just pick this up. Like I said, it's hard to pick up on camera how big this actually is. So I'm going to do some lying down in a second, stretch my legs out to show you the size of the inner. Okay, hopefully you can just about see me. It is getting darker outside at the minute, and as you can see, it's pitch black in here. I do love canvas tents, and I love the Polish lava because of how dark it is. So when I do go out camping and it's kind of early morning, the sun's coming up, I'm not suddenly woken by my tent being really, really bright and sunny. You can be in the middle of the day and this will be absolutely pitch black in here if you were to close the door. So, like I said, hopefully you can see me. Right, I'm stood up near enough straight, okay? I'm bending my head just a little bit, and like I said, I'm 6 foot tall. So being able to come inside a tent and not have to kind of dip down the whole time is a real bonus. Now remember, in the Arctic you do dig a cold well, because we want that cold air to sink away from our sleeping pad. So in this centre bit is where the cold well would normally be, and if I was to stud in this, I would be able to stand up with no problem at all, loads of headroom, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Okay, so yeah, I would say it's just under 6 foot inside at the apex. So let me do some lying down now, best bit, and show you how kind of like long each section is. Okay, so this first one I'm going to lie down in is one of the side lengths. Okay, so it's not the back, it's one of the side lengths. So I'm going to put my feet right at the, well, not right at the edge. Let me give myself a bit of comfort room. So like I said, I'm 6 foot. I'm going to lie down here, and look how much, this is ridiculous, how much extra headroom I've got there. That is crazy. So from what I was able to find online, these, excuse me if you see my bare feet, I'm just barefoot in the grass, I like it. From what I was able to find online, I think it is 6'3" along the back, and I think this length is more, I think it's like 8'6" or something like that. It's near enough to 9 foot. Now, to give you a comparison, I think the CVRT tent was about 3 meters square, or maybe just under that. Maybe 3 meters is about right. Yeah, 3 meters square, I think. I'll double check those measurements. So yeah, I could lie down with plenty of room at my feet, top of my head, and I mean I don't even need to be right up against the wall there. But that's crazy. So that's one length. Same on the other side. And then if we move to the back here, like I said, I think this one was around 6'3". Let's just see. Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of room at the at my feet, and then some room above my head here. But this is a lot of space to be able to take this out, and it packs down small as well. It's going to pack into the bag so much easier. I don't think it's as heavy duty canvas like the CVRT tent was. This seems a bit more, not pliable, but able to fold it more fabric like, even though it's still a nice strong canvas. So yeah, space inside is no problem at all. Like I said, you normally have your cold well in the middle, and you've got a sleep. So if this is for two, well, this will probably keep up to sleep up to 3 people if you really want to, and still have no bother at all. But like I said, if we're doing it the same and do 2-man teams, we had 1 at the side, 1 at the back, and then space for the stove. Speaking of, let's have a look at the stove. So you can just about see there the stove entrance, which would mean that we would have the stove right here, near, not dead next to the entrance, but near the entrance, which is exactly where we had it on the last trip. But if I remember rightly, we had it over to the right hand side, not the left, but it's not a problem at all. And if we head outside, you can see that it has an opening. So this has, I absolutely love it. It's got everything. I had to put in a stove jack. I had to put in my own stove jack to the CVRT tent. So this has, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. It's because it's an Arctic tent. It's already got everything that you're going to need. So it has a zipped panel, and then it's currently got this wire or silicone mesh currently over it. And what I've been able to see is that you just cut kind of like the shape of your stove out. And if you want to, sorry, the shape of your flue pipe out of that mesh. And obviously if you want to, you can put in a another extra flue protector around the stovepipe, so it's not directly touching the mesh, and just give that extra bit of kind of support and safety. Love it, absolutely love it. Now you may have noticed when I was talking about it before, I said the weight isn't a problem because it's the poles that take up the most weight. You might be thinking, well, hang on, does that mean that you're not going to have the poles in it? How are you going to put it up if you're not taking the heavy duty poles with you? Well, that's straightforward. If you have a look at the top, this has an A-frame setup, so it's got 2 poles that run down the edges at the front and the back, and then it's got 1 pole that runs along the middle, and they are threaded through this kind of tube of canvas. You can see it poking out the top, and the same along the ridge going from front to back. Now what this means is that we can run a ridge line through that canvas tunnel at the top, connecting to 2 trees on either side, and then all we have to do, peg out the corners like you would with any tent. Now I'm not going to be taking paracord for it this time, because paracord, it stretches too much, and it's just I think it's going to have a lot of sag in it. I do have some rappelling rope, which I did use for the parachute shelter, because it doesn't have as much stretch in it. Well, it's a long length, but then it doesn't have loads of stretch in it like climbing rope does. So you're able to really cinch it up and tighten it up without any weight on it kind of bringing it down and making it sag anymore. So that's my idea for this. Unless I find some other rope that is just as strong without that kind of like stretch in there. So that's the kind of plan, and over the next few camps up to next year, I'm going to be playing around with different types of setups and just seeing kind of how easy it is to set up, because actually putting these poles in was damn hard. I mean, I suppose it's a 5-man Arctic tent, so I'm guessing you're supposed to have 5 men putting it up, and it was just being by myself, but it was very, very fiddly. So I'm hoping just being able to run, connect a line to one tree, run it through, maybe kind of not peg it out because it's in the snow, but kind of just lay it down in the shape, maybe put some snow onto the snow skirt just to keep it in place, run the line through that top canvas tubing tunnel, and then to the other tree, and then at the other tree being able to really cinch it up. So that's what I'm going to be playing around with over the next couple of camps. So hopefully you'll be able to see that on some future videos. Okay, so just as we're losing the lighting now, I'm going to kind of go through some of the features just out of interest. And I do apologise if you see any washing on the line around, because I'm in the back garden and I didn't realise how big this tent was, so I was trying to find a space to put it in. So if we start off at the front, we have got this vent at the top on this side, and you can actually see it on the other side as well. Okay, so it's got this tubing vent, which I believe the snow trackers the white Arctic tents have on as well. They're really, really handy and fantastic to have. They do have these tie-outs as well. If you want to cinch it up and close that up, you can do. And it's got this mesh as well, so that nothing can fly into it. So kind of like a buck net almost. Okay, so that's the vent. Like I said, there's the apex of the poles coming out. As we work our way down, we have this reinforced heavy duty kind of tie out with the cord going down to peg out or tied to a tree. We've got the zipper here, which is, I believe it's a double zip. Yes, it is. That's excellent. Okay, so you've got this external zip, okay, and then you've also got this internal zip as well, so it's kind of an overlapping layer just to help with that cold. So I'll just keep it open for now, but if we kind of make our way down, hello bare feet, we've got the snow skirt like I said before, and loads of different kind of tie outs as well along the bottom. Move around to the side, we've got these we've got these toggles everywhere. They're fantastic. Let me just see if I can see, you can see them inside as well. No, it's getting really dark now. Not gonna be able to see this. Let's just see if you can I put the light on? No. There's toggles everywhere, which are absolutely fantastic. They're elasticated and just for hanging things up, running lines. They're absolutely fantastic because for hanging stuff up or running lines around the tent to be able to hang your stuff up is an absolute necessity to have. Being able to dry your kit out is just amazing. Yeah, being able to just hang up your clothes, dry them while the stove is on is so important in the Arctic. Some people cold camp, that's great for I suppose short periods of times, but you need to be able to dry out your kit. So yeah, having those inside and the availability to run a ridge line through the inside as well, which we're able to do. Again, having that dry line right at the top where all the heat's going to go is fantastic. Okay, let's carry on. So yeah, toggles around the outside. Like I say, you've got your stove jack there, and then we have got, which is fantastic, 3 tie-out points there. That just brings out that side. There we go, you can see, sorry, cardboard box house on the side there. It just brings out that side so much more, giving you so much more room, which is fantastic. Like I said, snow skirt around the whole of the outside. Then round to the back, it sort of mirrors the front, except we don't have the zip, so it's a kind of one way in, one way out. We still have the tie out, the toggles, and we've still got the vent that can be tied up as well and cinched up. You can see here you get a better view of that kind of a top canvas tunnel running through. So if you imagine a rope doing exactly what this is pole's doing, just going all the way through 2 trees and then pegging out the 2 corners, then yeah, hopefully that'll be as sturdy as we need. Okay, and now I'm trapped by a trampoline and swings, but here you go is the other side. So again, mirroring the right hand side with the 3 tie-outs. So all in all, this is a cracking tent, and I can't wait to start using it and get it, hopefully, fingers crossed, as out into the Arctic if everything goes to plan and my ideas work for it. Really excited to kind of get it out there, see what it can do, and live a life of luxury out there in the cold. If you have any questions at all, please put it in the comments. I want to help out as many people as possible. Like I said, this is the first, as far as I've been able to, I was scrolling trying to find any video related to this specific tent. Like I said, there's other British Army Arctic tents out there on YouTube, but this is the first one, I believe, of this tent. So if you have any questions that I can help out with, please do put them in the comments so that we kind of start sharing information about this tent, because there's not a lot of out there. Like I said, BC UK, it's got quite a bit of information, but still not massive amounts. And then old selling pages of people who have sold this tent on sites and have put a brief description of it. So yeah, if you want to know any more, put it in and we'll start sharing some more information about these amazing tents. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.